Hi guys, and today I've got a really important tip for you to get out of bad habits, because some of my students have had a little bit of time away from lessons, have been busy or on holiday and whatnot, and some bad habits have been creeping back in, and one of those bad habits that is recurring, and it's something that I see in many people who are learning to play the bass or the guitar for that matter, is this habit. Can you see what's wrong? What is wrong with what I'm doing? If you can't see what is wrong, then you clearly don't know the correct technique. What is wrong is this, my thumb. This is a really exaggerated version, but if your thumb can be seen coming up from behind the neck, you've got bad technique. Why is it bad, you might ask? This is the reason why it's bad, because when you play a note and your thumb is not centered in the back of the neck, you're going to get an imbalanced intonation. You'll probably be bending the note slightly to compensate for pressure, and that is going to give you inaccurate tone. The other reason is that it just is not economical for movement. If I do this, I can only move like up here at the very most, unless I slide. But sliding can sound ugly, right? When you're playing a passage, that can sound ugly, and a recording engineer might not like that at all, because you get too much fret noise. So the correct technique is this. You keep your thumb centered in the back of the neck like this, and it acts like a fulcrum. It means I can even play all the way down there without having to move the fulcrum of my thumb. Although this is extreme, but here it's very comfortable. Here it's very comfortable. Here it's comfortable, and there is about the limit. But I've stretched what? I've stretched from the 10th fret, right down to the 3rd to 10th fret with that technique, right? I don't have to move my thumb. Economy of movement, and also by doing that I'm getting more even pressure as well. The pressure that I'm putting on on the fretboard with my fingers from the front is more even. Whereas if I do this, how far can I get? That's about it, and it sounded awful, didn't it? Because I can't put even pressure on my fingers. It's all slanted. The fingers are all slanted, so you're not going to get the same tone that you get with your fingertips like this if you use the correct technique. So I can't stress enough how important that is, and that if you are doing this technique, it's not a technique, it's actually a bad habit. If you are doing that, you want to try and relearn or rethink your technique. I mean, there are some great players who have that bad habit, but they are great players, and they would be greater players if they didn't have that habit. And that is my argument. You could say to me, yeah, there are so many great players who do this, so why is it a bad technique? Surely it must be great because they do it. My answer is no, it's not. It's a bad habit, and it is something that if they did not do that, if they had the correct technique, they would be even greater players than they already are or were. So that's my answer to you. There's no excuses. Bad technique like that is only going to hinder you. So, I want you to get the most out of your instrument. So that's my recommendation.